Hello friends, I hope everybody's doing good. Okay, so in the last video, I went to step on the starter and it cranked for about 2 seconds and then it wouldn't crank anymore. And then we were able to jump the starter switch with a screwdriver. We're going to diagnose it today. I have a funny feeling I know what's wrong. We'll go over that in a little while. Right now I just want to unbox what they sent me as far as Gravely parts go here. I got it from Richard's Lawn and Garden here. Some parts that we needed I ordered. Got in here. I had to order a chain because we took the chain off the 73 C8. I don't know if you put the chain here maybe. Well, it's a pretty good wrapping job he did here. Okay, so when we bought the 54 Gravely's, or they're 57s, it came with a new starter switch he threw in. It's brand new. I ordered another one to have a backup one because I have a funny feeling that we're going to need it on this 57 that we're building here. So we got that. I ordered a couple of chain links because I have a couple of chains that we could fix. I ordered 2 of those in-tank shut-off valves because I want to take the sediment bowl off this one. And I think I have the right size metal fuel line because I want to take the 62 Gravely out one day and we're going to put that back to original. And I'll just use one of these for the 57 here. So we have 2 of those. I don't know if I ordered anything else. Oh yeah, I did. Let me make sure there's nothing more in these. So these chains here, I really didn't have to order. I think I have a few chains that I could fix. I just kicked the camera. What else is new here? So I ordered the chain. What I'm going to do is off camera, I'm going to put this chain on the 73 C8. And I think I mentioned that the battery on that, it's not holding a charge. So I'm going to put the good battery on that, and that dead battery we'll use for this one here for now. I did drop something here. I guess he sent 3 chain links. Yeah, he sent 3. Alright, cool. I could always use those. Unless I ordered 3. I can't remember. That wasn't bad. It was $69.21. That's not bad. I was expecting to be close to 100 with the prices of Gravely parts here. Let's see. Yeah, the starter switch was $27. Yeah, the chain was $14. I more or less looked at the his parts list that he has on the internet at the prices. So that's not too bad. We got some stuff here to keep us busy a while here. So yeah, like I said before, the plan is I wanted to see. It has a very simple electrical system on it, and we'll go over that as soon as we get to diagnosing what's going on with it. Like I said, I'll take the dead battery off the C8, and I'll charge that up in the meantime while I throw the chain on that. And we'll see how far we get today. I still have to go to Tractor Supply, and I need to get the positive cable that goes to the battery, because the battery mounts out front. And I also have to go to Napa and get a battery hold down that I like to use. I like to use like the Chrysler style. As a matter of fact, it says Chrysler right on the package. Hold down. I just modify it a little bit, drill a couple of holes so we could put the J hooks in. So we might do a video on that too. Alright, so I'll be back to you shortly. Okay, so you have the I know I'm going to kick the camera tripod here. I'm like in a real narrow position here. Okay, so anyway, as I showed you before, now I can't, I thought I brought the new switch down here. I didn't. Yeah, here it is. I'll just sit here and explain it real quick again. Okay, so you have the starter switch. It's a button you press with your foot here. Okay, so from the battery, you have the cable that goes to the one end here. Okay, so when you press the starter button, it makes contact between these two posts, and that's what sends the juice down to your starter. And what happened is, when I stepped on the starter, it cranked for 2 seconds, like I said before, and I jumped it with the screwdriver. And it's a very easy way to check this. This, like I said, is a very simple. It's a very simple electrical system on this tractor here. I took the starter chain off for safety reasons. Because if I step on the starter button here, it does nothing. Sometimes they work intermittently. Sometimes they'll work and then they won't work. This one just went out altogether. So what I did was I took the screwdriver and we jumped it from post to post. That sounds great, don't it? Sounds like it needs to drop a Earl. So you can either use your multimeter tester. Me, I just use a test light as much as possible, because you could always clip the one end on here and you could check everything. Okay, so by jumping it with the screwdriver, it eliminated like a bad ground cable, and it eliminated a bad cable to the positive side of the battery, and it also eliminated this other cable here that goes to the starter, from the starter switch to the starter. So we know that's all good because I was able to jump it with a screwdriver. So all you want to do is check the side where it goes to the starter, and if you press this button and it does nothing, like it's doing, then you know the switch is no good. So, whoop, that was pretty stupid. Yeah. That's it for now. I'm going to put the switch in. We'll see if it works. I think we're going to service the oil bath air cleaner. If you want to Google it, you can Google it, asking how an oil bath oil filter works, and they tell you all about it. And yeah, I'll be back to you soon. So I want to service the oil bath filter, and then I'm thinking about throwing the mower deck on. You know, the grass is grown already in the field. I didn't even do the cleanup here, spring cleanup yet. So I was thinking of throwing our mower deck that we use here for testing and cutting and so forth. I was thinking of throwing that on there later on in this video. I still have to go buy cables, like I said, and the battery hold down kit. And yeah, you saw me do the switch on one of the videos, so I'm just going to throw the switch on there and we'll see if that works, and then I'll be back to you. What do you guys think? It'll start now with the new starter button? I'm going to let it start. I'll turn the gas on. If it cranks over here. Yeah. Very cool. So I hope you understood how I checked out the starter system there. Simple. It's a very simple electrical system on this. So, alright, so I'll be back to you. I have to decide what we're going to do next. I'd like to go get those cables and get the battery in. Even though it's a dead battery, I have to charge it up all the time, because if you charge it up, even with my big battery charger, the next morning it's dead. So I know the battery's got to shorten it. I was going to show you guys how to load test the battery, but this battery is so bad it's not even worth the trouble, really. So I'll be back. Okay, so we have the oil bath air cleaner here, and then we have the hose here. The one end of the hose connects to the carburetor throat, and of course it's sucking air, and under here it's sucking the outside air in. So I'll show you when I get this off kind of how it works. I just want to put my gloves on because this is a little bit of a dirty job here. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, so there's an adapter underneath here on the tractor. I'll show you once we get it back together how the whole thing actually works. So the outside air comes in here, all around here. And so what happens is when the air gets sucked in, you have this screen mesh here, and any big debris will fall in here where the oil is. And we're going to make sure, I'll take some brake clean after I degrease this whole thing, and I'm going to spray in the screen here and make sure everything's clean in here. In here you get a lot of little particle debris. And like I said, any big pieces will fall into the oil bath here. So, I'm just going to dump this oil out. You can see this is all cruddy, and this is pretty bad. I don't know when the last time this got serviced. And after we clean this, there'll be like a mark down here of how much oil to put in. You don't want to put too much oil in, then you'll be sucking oil into the carburetor. So let me dump this out. I'm going to degrease it, and then I'll be back to you. got to get my glove off so we can, the system works pretty good. Not a bad system. That was before they had oil filter elements. All the old cars used to have that set up too with the air cleaner. Okay, so I cleaned it all up. That took a little while. This thing looked like it was never even serviced ever. You have a base gasket here too. That we'll get to that as soon as I put it together. And it's very important that you have this so you got the correct good suction, no leaks. So okay, so on the bottom here where you're supposed to put the oil in, I don't see any markings, but I'm just gonna go, you see the smooth part here? I'm just gonna go right to the ridge here, and I'll fill it with oil, and then we'll go to install it. The hose is pretty petrified. I have a listing for a car hose you can use, and I hope I have it in my notes if I ever need to get one, but we could probably manage to get the hose back on too. So see you in a couple seconds. Okay, so to speed things up a little bit, I put the hose back on because you want to put the hose on first because you have a clamp here you have to tighten, and if you have the air cleaner on you won't be able to tighten it. And another thing I want to mention to you is as far as the oil goes, the service manual probably says to use the 30 weight, or I don't know what they say to use, but anyway, I had some 1040 on hand, so I used that. And I don't know if you could even see, but I filled it up to where I said I was going to fill it up. And what we're going to do now is, if I could do this without spilling the oil. Don't worry, I've done that before. We're going to put our gasket on. Very important. I'm sure it'll work without it, but it's a better seal for everything to work in there. They do make a dry element. I think I have a couple of Graveleys like that have the dry element. It's just a round regular air filter element. It has a round air cleaner assembly, and then you just drop the element down in there, and then you put the lid on it, and then you tighten it up. Like that's an aftermarket thing, I guess. And then you have like the 73 and my 67 have the side mounted air cleaner, which is a dry filter. I think it's a Kohler. I think Kohler engines take that. Okay, so then we're going to just drop this on here without spilling anything. Like so, here. There's really nothing to this, but nobody ever cleans these, I could tell. It looks like this was never ever cleaned before. See if we can get this to go in here. Yeah, we do. You see I catch that wing nut. The stem, rather. There it is right there, I think. Yeah. There we go. It's down in there. Good. And then just pop the wing nut back on and you're good. And like I said, just don't overfill the oil in there, because it will suck it into the carburetor and it'll just smoke like crazy and not run right. Now after this, there's a possibility now that I might have to adjust the carburetor again. I might have to lean it out a little bit, but because by putting the air cleaner on it, you're richening up the mixture. But sometimes you really don't have to adjust the carburetor, but we may have to. So that's how that's done. And I'll look around and see what next we're going to do here. So I'll be back in a couple of seconds or so. Okay, so moving on to the next problem. It's the PTO lever here. This lever here is for a tractor that doesn't have an electric start, a pull start tracker it would be for. And see the battery tray here? this is supposed to have the remote PTO. It's supposed to have the linkage where it comes out here, and then there's a rod that comes up the side here, and then you can control it from, you know, behind the handlebars of the tractor. You just pull it out and the PTO would come on. So the problem with this is too short here, and you really can't get your hand on. These are dangerous enough to activate the PTO without having this problem here. So what I want to do is this rod here, the lever, threads into the top part here. I tried to get that out, but I really can't. I can't. No matter what I did, I can't get it out. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking off this whole battery tray and the hood assembly. I tried to take the hood off, but the bolts are rusted solid on there. And what you have here is you have two bolts going in, one on this side and one on this side. I removed those bolts already. And then you have the handlebar bolts here I have to take off, and then I could just lift this whole thing off. And I want to see if I could get that rod to come out. And it's a threaded, you know, it's a threaded handle. I want to see if I have something I can use that sticks out. It's about 5 inches from here to here. It would be the same as, just as dangerous as if you didn't have the battery box and you were clicking the PTO on. I don't have any setups. I don't think I have anything as far as the remote PTO assembly goes. So I'm going to try something here. I want to see if I have either a real long bolt or a threaded rod or something. I can make something so we can kick the PTO on. So in the meantime, I'm just going to take the two bolts out, handlebar bolts, one on this side, one on the other side, and lift this whole thing off and then see where we stand from. Okay, so there was no getting this lever out. I tried everything, even though I had the room. Couldn't get it off with the vice grip. I don't want to heat this up because you got oil in the crankcase and everything. I don't want to start any fire, but I did have this bushing here. And what I did was I just kept drilling out the bushing until I was able to just get this to start going on a little bit, and I just hit it back on there with the hammer. It's not going anywhere, but I stuck the battery tray on there. You still gotta like get underneath here and just push it a little bit, but then I'm able to use it. This is all temporary. I just want to get it good enough to where we could put this thing back together here and do a cutting in the field test with it. So I'm losing my voice. It seemed to have gotten a lot colder out for some reason. It was warm before, but I don't know what's going on. That's the weather for you. So alright, so let me button this thing all back up again, and I'll probably end up throwing the mower deck on here, and then we'll go out in the field and try it. Okay, so it worked out okay for the most part. And I didn't want to start cutting the battery tray because this thing goes, there's just enough room here. In other words, I could have cut this out here so you could grab, but I could still grab it pretty good and probably get it clicked in. Yeah, here. Pretty easy. It's not too bad. It's a little struggle getting it. And you know, you gotta do it really quick at idle, but it's a lot better than it was. I can live with this. It's fine. So, I don't know, you know, what's in the future. I can't really leave it like that. If I'm going to sell this tractor, I don't want to sell it like this, but I don't know. Anyway, after we're done with this, it's going off to the side. Now we'll start on the second project. And knowing me, I probably won't want to sell it. Oh, please don't stall. Then I'll drag the battery back here. Yeah, it runs pretty good. It did pretty good during the test. And that lever, that bushing that I banged on there, what I did was I drilled it out about 3 inches. I kept drilling it till it would fit snug on the lever, and then I hammered it on. That seems to work pretty good. It's not bad at all, but it's still unsafe anyway, no matter how you look at these tractors. The only thing I have left to do is I still didn't go get the cables, the battery cables for it, and the battery hold down. So we'll be doing that. And I replaced the missing bolts. Oh, and the one heat shield that I thought was missing, and in one of the videos I found it under the hood, but it got crushed. I just got to straighten that out and put that back on. You know, the heat deflector that goes on the side with the muffler. I went over the muffler bolts to make sure they were still tight. Everything seems to be pretty tight with that. And I guess that's going to be about it on this. Thanks for joining me in this video. I thank you all. Have a happy Easter, and remember to be good to each other. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.